Hello everyone, welcome to my long rant, should I cheat at Palia / why we don't want a marketplace. It's a weird title. I do apologize that I am an emotional person. You know, in the first 1.5 seconds of my consciousness, I predicted that we as a species were at war with each other, and I've been angry ever since. You know, in case you haven't noticed all the injustice going on all of the time, so I'm a little, angry just all of the time in general, right? So I apologize that I have human emotions about things, but I was in the Palia Discord earlier, and that's why I'm here now. Full transparency, I got muted and banned. I understand the ban in retro, it makes sense, but I didn't know. Basically, I got muted from the discussion channel because I was like, hey, we can't tolerate cheating. And I was getting very, people were defending cheating, and then I got muted, and I'm like, what the heck? So then I asked one of the people, I'm like, hey, how come you say you're allowed to cheat, but I'm not allowed to cheat? And then that's when I got banned, because apparently you shouldn't talk to people after you get muted. So, whoops, I didn't understand. Okay. Alright. So, let's unravel the discussion. Because it's complicated. There's a gray area, if you will. I've got a little cheat sheet here to help me. You know, I got chaos going on. It's hard to focus. It's hard to focus. I'm one of those people where it's hard to focus. So, cheating. Let's talk about cheating real quick. Now, in anything in the world, if you try and provide one single definition for it, you're in for an uphill battle. It's hard to provide singular definitions for things that 100% accurately describe the thing. Right? So let's go with an alternative method of describing things where we plop up a few things that are understandably and reasonably true in many situations. Example, cheating method number 1, breaking a written rule. This one's obvious. We don't have to think very hard about this one. Method number 2, breaking an unwritten rule. Well, now this is where it starts to get a little complicated, because people with a cheater mindset will go, well, how is it cheating if it's not against the rules? Well, Constantine had something to say about that. Not Constantine played by Keanu Reeves, but Constantine the emperor of the... You know, the dude who made the first laws in human civilization? In all of human civilization, before there were ever rules, this dude recognized this thing. He's like, hey, guy over there, you just killed your neighbor. That's not cool. I can see how you're hurting our species as a collective, as a group. It's like you versus us. You killed one of us. And the neighbor goes, well, it's not against the rules. So, that's how you get rules. Constantine was like, okay. Well, now it's against the rules. So, you have to understand that all written rules are originally derived from people breaking unwritten rules and us forcing us to write them down, to say, hey, you're not allowed to do that. It's not okay. Don't do that. I can't believe we have to write it down because of you, but here we go. We have another rule now because of you being a person who wants something. So what is the essence of cheating? What is another way of describing cheating? Okay, here's the last one I'll add, at least for now. Wanting to skip an experience, but still get the reward. It's a really powerful way of looking at cheating. Example, Lance Armstrong really wanted to win, but wanted to skip the experience of becoming a natural winner. So he cheated. People want to ace their test, but they want to skip the experience of studying. And they just want to cheat to get an A+. Let's talk about stolen valor for a second. Now, I've got a little video here, right, that explains it well. It's a pretty popular video. Veteran of 2506 calls out fake ranger at Oxford Valley Mall. A former infantryman, Ryan Burke from Easy Company 2506, when he first sent us this video of him calling out a fake ranger at a local mall. This guy couldn't answer basic questions that he should have known. He's wearing a CIB with 3 stars and tried to say he got them all for Iraq and Afghanistan, which is not possible, as you can only get 1 for both. So this guy is lying about being a veteran, right? And as it says here, I'm guessing he was trying his hand at some discounts, right? So this guy pretending like he did the experience. He didn't do the experience, but he's pretending like he did the experience in order to get rewards, right? So that's a big deal. I think this is actually federally illegal. If it's not federally illegal, then it's definitely illegal in most states to pretend to be a veteran. Like, you're not even like, it's like obviously pretending to be a cop is illegal, right? But these people are like, but I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not like using my authority to like order Marines around and stuff. But it's like, yeah, but you're still being deceitful. You're still lying. You're still skipping an experience to get a reward. Like, it's cheating. Where's Constantine? He'd be so angry. It's cheating. Like, come on, dude. So that's stolen valor. That's real life. But what happens when we translate it to video games? Well, if we translate it to video games, guess what? Cheating is still a very big deal. Look, we have another video here. This one's pretty popular. Hey, we know her, Clara, whatever, Clara. This lady. Oh, well, advertisement. This lady was just caught cheating in a video game, and it's like, it's just a video game, right? But then why does Twitch ban her? Why does the game ban her? Why do people get upset at her because she's cheating, even though it's just a video game, right? So you can see how she can see through stuff, right? Like, so many instances of speedrunners cheating, right? Speedrun cheaters. And it's just a video game, but it's a huge deal, right? So like, who cares if it's just a video game? If we go back to the stolen valor, like, hey, as a gamer, I take pride in my gaming accomplishments, right? Back when Xbox introduced the achievements system, I went full in on that. I have some very high tier achievements that not a lot of people have. For example, I have got the hat from the dishwasher. That's a very hard achievement to get. I have all of the achievements in Dead Rising number 1. Very hard achievements to get. I have a lot of I have Seriously 1.0 in Gears of War 1. 10,000 online multiplayer kills. Like, I earned that. So when you look at my profile and you see those things, you know that I did those things. Right? I earned that accolade. I earned that display, right? That's what the game was. For Seriously, it was bugged. I had to get 16,000 before it gave me. I was supposed to get it at 10. Can you imagine how stressed out I was for those 6,000 extra kills? Oh my gosh. You don't see that in the achievement. I just remembered that personally, right? You only know that I did 10,000 at least, right? Like, so another game, Call of Duty. When I played Call of Duty Modern Warfare back in the day, I'm bringing Call of Duty up specifically for a reason. I used to get nukes all the time, 25 kills in a row, easy. I chose to stop getting nukes after I got 88 of them in my total career. Like, I kept counting, from the first one to the 88th one. I had it in my profile, 1 nuke, 7 nukes, 33 nukes, 88 nukes. And when I got to 88, I was like, I like that number. I'm gonna stop. So anytime I got to 20 kills in a row, I'd make sure the enemy team would take me down, just so I wouldn't accidentally get one, right? You know what would happen if I tried to do that today? Failure. Why? Pain and suffering. My hand, see this thing? Well, I've been gaming since I was 5 years old, and I have overused it. And even though I'm only 30-something, 35 or 6, whatever, who cares anymore? Like, I work in an office, so I do office work, and my only hobby is video games and playing pool. So, like, I'm sorry, hand, I'm trying to take it easy on hand now, So, like, I mean, I have this ball mouse that I tried for a little bit, and it's still so much pain in the fingers, right? And now I've got this cool vertical mouse. It's like so when it sits flat, instead of your hand being like, even putting my hand like this puts pain in my wrist, but if I tilt it like this, it feels better, right? But even if I click once, it feels like you're putting a needle into this joint right here. It's great. It's fun. So let's talk about accessibility and disability. Let's talk about that. So here, I've got another one. Let's see. Controller support. We're going to watch this one. We're going to watch. It's a short. It's a great short that explains exactly what I'm trying to say right now, in this very moment.
I found out that you need to add controller support. And the reason you add controller support is kind of an unlikely reason. It's odd. It's because people with physical disabilities play your game because you have controller support, because they can remap the controller to their devices. Didn't know that. I had no idea that that was a thing.
Yeah.
But it's very common. So I added controller support for the game because someone in our community was physically disabled and asked us to do it.
So I use my controller predominantly, even for PC games, because it's a lot easier in my hand. And even then, I try not to use my trigger fingers anymore, like I used to back in the day. I try and use my other fingers to hit these buttons, right? Because I'm trying to take it easy on my hand. So accommodating disability is very important. No shit. I need it. Other people need it. Great. Glad we can agree that we need to support the disabled people. Okay. Now let's talk about Disneyland. We're going to talk about cheaters at Disneyland. I grew up in Southern California, and I used to go to Disneyland all the time. All the time. When you go, like, 2 to 3 times a week for years, you notice things. You overhear people talking about things. Here's something that's been common, that used to be common, at least. I admit I haven't been going in, like, the last, 8 years or so. I went for, 15 years in a row, and now it's too expensive, right? So, hey, maybe things are different. I've been once in the last few years, right? But not regularly, not enough to be an expert like I used to be. But I was very frequent. And during that time, here's some things I noticed. We're going to have 2 sections right here. This is before, and this is now. Okay. Now, there was a problem. Skipping the wait. So what happens? Well, in order to be accommodating. In all fairness, and I completely agree, they let people in a wheelchair skip walking through the line. So, accommodating, wheelchair, skip, line. Right? I'm thinking of my favorite ride, Space Mountain. There's like ramps and stairs and corridors. Like, you can't take a wheelchair through that. That doesn't make any sense. So I completely agree. Take them through the exit, because the exit has wheelchair accessibility straight to the roller coaster. Great. So this is the equivalent of giving me a controller for my pain in my hand, right? So that seems fine at first. And now we ask, well, what about their friends? Well, if they're with, what about their family? Like, oh, here's my daughter. She gets to skip the line because she can't physically go through the regular line. So I'm going to go with her on the ride. Okay, I understand that. That's fair. Here's something that started to happen. I overheard people talking about it with their friends. Like, I'm in line with them, and they said, oh, last time we were here, we did that thing. I heard this conversation, I think, like 3 separate, definitely twice, maybe a third time. I might be accidentally splitting one of the memories into 2 separate memories, but at least 2 separate, for sure, memories of people having this discussion where they talked about hiring someone in a wheelchair so that their whole group, can skip the line. Group skipping. Taking advantage of the fact that the wheelchair person can skip the line and that it's unfair to make them ride alone, so we're going to let them ride with their friends. So a frat house of like 20 college dudes hires a wheelchair person so they can skip the line and skip the wait. They want to skip the experience of waiting in line in order to get the reward of going on the roller coaster. So that's what used to happen, because they were talking about it. They were talking, oh man, I hate waiting in line. Last year we had whoever come with us so we could skip all the lines. They're angry that they're not allowed to cheat right now. What happens now? This is what I saw last time happen. Last time I was at Disneyland, this is what happened. They walked up, they had the wheelchair skip. One person stayed, rest waited in line. So they had one friend take the wheelchair person through the exit. They've accommodated that. Now that they have access to the roller coaster, they are going to get on the roller coaster. And they are going to ride with their friends. Their friends have to wait in line like normal. And then when their friends get there to the roller coaster where the wheelchair person is waiting, they all ride together. So the wheelchair person was accommodated. They are getting on the roller coaster. They did not skip the experience of waiting for 90 minutes like everyone else. Everything's fair for everyone. And this eliminates that shady business of hiring disabled people to skip the line at an amusement park. It's sick. Using a disabled person to skip lines at an amusement park. And what really brought this to my attention was a disabled comedian talking about this concept and how they don't want special treatment. Like, that's infantilizing them by letting them cheat the line. They want to wait just as long as everyone else, is what they said. Right? I wish I could find that clip. My memory, I don't know the person's name. How am I going to type that into YouTube and find that clip? I'm sorry. So, we can accommodate people, but without letting them undermine the established system. I mean, I would like to hear from any Special Olympian whatsoever. Do you think you have the right to cheat at the Special Olympics because you have some sort of disability? Something that's inhibiting you from achieving as much as person over there who doesn't have that thing? Like, it's like, I'm in this Discord, back to this Discord, right? And someone says that they don't think there's a problem with using a script for fishing because fishing hurts their hand. Well, hold on a second. Let's go back to me real quick with my vertical mouse here on my controller. You know what hurts my hand? Oh, let's see. Walking around. Looking. How about cooking? Cooking hurts my hand. Fishing hurts my hand. Gardening. Hey, let's do some gardening. Yeah? Ow. Ow, that hurts my finger a little bit. Maybe I should use my other finger. It's a little uncomfortable. It's kind of awkward to play like this, so like when I'm absent-mindedly playing the game, I tend to just revert back to using my trigger finger, and ow, that hurts again. What a pain in my ass. So like, where do I draw the line at how much time in line I get to skip? Right? If I say that fishing hurts my hand, so I want to use a script to fish for me. I understand if this was a single-player game. If this was Fallout or Skyrim, or even a multiplayer game, but it's just your friends. Like say you're playing the Elden Ring co-op mod with your friend, which disconnects you from the online services and the other players. Go ahead, cheat as much as you want. Both of you turn on God mode, who cares? But if you're playing regular Elden Ring, which does connect to other players, you can't cheat? What? You can't use a script to do things for free? What are you talking? What? Okay. So look at my stats. I spend so much time in this game AFKing in my plot because I don't have the... Every time I go out for my plot, I know it's going to be physically painful, so like I'm reluctant to do it, right? So I just hang out here and like 24 hours goes by and I water my crops. Look at my gardening skill. I'm level 58 compared to the only reason fishing is level 29 all of a sudden. It was only 12 of like a week or so ago is because of the lucky prize wheel and the hot pot in the black market and the fishing and the party people. I needed the party. I needed the darn party people. I needed the growable furniture. So I pushed through the pain to fish up 50,000 experience. I didn't ask for any freaking handouts or get arounds or skipsy doodles. I earned these lamps. Look at this. I earned this lamp. Okay? So, the person who said that they don't think using a script for fishing is cheating, especially if you have physical pain. If you're cheating, but it's to avoid physical pain, it's fine. They were defending someone else who, like, the topic was different. The topic at the time was someone said there should be a marketplace. And I said, that's a bad idea. That's why we have, can I not? That's why I have Gaia Online here. We got to talk about Gaia Online for a minute. This is the second half of the title of why we don't want a marketplace in Palia. Okay. I'm going to write down an indisputable fact about reality according to the laws of physics and history, is demonstrated over all known human interaction. Okay, if you can trade money/items, that is an economy. Okay. Okay. Gaia Online. Do any of you remember Gaia Online? Am I dating myself? It was a anime-based web forum. You post on the site and you like click around and you get gold, and you can spend that gold on the in-game shops to buy clothes for your little avatar. And your little avatar is standing next to all of your posts, and it looks like a speech bubble. So wherever you post is your little avatar, and your little avatar is customized by items, and you get those items by earning gold. So Gaia started out pretty small and then grew, right? So at first, things were fine. You could trade items with other people. There was a forum where you could post messages and say, hey, I'm looking for this item, can I buy it for blah blah blah. And sometimes you could get things, cheaper than if you bought it in the store. Like if the store sold the fire top for 1,000 gold, someone had it and they're tired of it and they don't want it anymore, they'll give it to you for like 700. Yeah, no problem. Well, in order to support the site, some people donated, right? The developers thought that was cool that people donated, and so the first month that people donated, they rewarded those people with a donation item. All those people were given a halo, the single most expensive item in the history of Gaia Online. A single halo in that video game on the black market out here in the real world is worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or at least it used to be. I don't know. The site's not as popular as it used to be, right? Like, in the game, it is like hundreds of times my accumulated wealth, or in the website /game, whatever. Well, every month after that, they said, we'll release donation items for people, right? So you would donate to them, and you would get a little letter, and you could open that letter and pick one of 2 items. So the letter itself was very valuable, and the one of 2 items was very valuable because they only existed and were created with real money during that 1 month and never to be created again. I think the second items were panda hat and a bear hat. Well, if there were 1,000 donations then there's only 1,000 copies. Like, there's a lot more than that, but the point is that there was an economy. And you know what there were? People like me. People like me who use wealth to my advantage to accrue more wealth while depriving you of accruing wealth. So, when these letters would come out at the first of the month every month, people would start selling them in the marketplace. People who donated to buy them, right? They would donate to buy them, and then they would sell them for in-game currency in the marketplace. I, using my accumulated wealth, would buy them all at a discount and then sit on them. I would just buy as many as I could, depriving many other people from having letters. I would buy hundreds, right? You sit on them for a few months, and then you can sell them for triple, quadruple, 10 times, 20 times. You sit on them for a couple years, you can sell them for hundreds of times the value that you bought them for. I am rich in Gaia Online. I am filthy, disgustingly rich. I don't have a halo. Rich. But I'm so rich. And you know what? They hired an economist. They straight up had to hire an economist because the inflation of items was getting out of hand. Basically, new players had zero access to the donation items. They had created an exclusivity chain where you either paid real money to get it or you worked very, 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 very hard to earn enough money to buy the letters from people like me. Because I wasn't the only person doing this, right? There were so many of us. We were the 1% of Gaia Online. And we controlled the market on purpose. Like, I'm not exaggerating here. We would have conversations in our private channels and pick an item, swarm that item, take that item, double the price of that item. That's now the market value. We would just do that because we could. They hired that economist, and you know what the dude did? He created an actual marketplace. Not just a forum where you have to make a message and like actually communicate with people to make trades happen. They made it a legitimate, just post your item into the machine. It has the price. You can look at the market average. You can look at what other people are selling it for. Wow, that just made it so much easier for us to do what we were doing. You're telling me you're going to put all of the items in one place for us to just click buy, and then re-put them up at twice the price? And now when new people look at items on the marketplace, they see that that's the price, so they also put it up as that price, and now that's just the price. And if you try and undersell and put it back at the regular price and try and convince people, no, this is the regular price, we just buy you out again. Sure, you get paid, but we're going to profit because we're going to put it back up at the new price, and eventually, due to the scarcity, people are going to have to start buying them. This is what happens when you have a market. This is what happens when you can trade golden items. So, I was in there, and I was like, hey, we don't want a market. Someone said that. We want a market. I want to trade items for gold. I want to buy stuff. I came in and I was like, no, you don't. Maybe you're young or something. I didn't say that, but this is what I was thinking. Like, maybe you're young or something, but you don't know how marketplaces and golden items, it creates corruption. Right? I mentioned about the black market on Gaia Online earlier, where you could sell my account. If there was a calculator that used to exist. You would paste in the web code from the website when you were on your inventory screen. You would paste that code into the tool, and that tool had access to the black market websites where people paid real money to buy Gaia items, definitely illegal and against the terms of service and bannable, but they did it. Anyway, the tool would tell you the price of your account. So if I wanted to, I could have gone to the black market and sold my account for 20,000 real American dollars. Some cheater would pay me $20,000 to get access to all of my items. So, every economy that has ever existed since the beginning of time has these kinds of problems. Right? Let's go to Palia now. We're wrapping back to the beginning. Let's look at this laggy menu just as an aside. Hey, developers, why is this menu so ungodly laggy? What is going on here? Why? Are you getting these pictures in real time from these? Look at the spinny circles. That's why it's so why is this? I can't even scroll. I can't even move. Because if I try and look at this, it's just gonna, oh, no, more. Anyway. Oh, also, speaking of controller support, this menu got worse with the recent update. Now I can do this like I used to be able to, but now the trigger doesn't take me over to the request. Look, it doesn't take me over here now. Anyway, let's look at the request system. The perfect implementation of getting rid of all that crap I was just talking about when it comes to marketplaces and economies. In the request system, I can request copies of anything I've had before. I have, at one point in my entire life, I've had an aquamarine, so I can request it. I want a Palium bar. I'm low on it, and I don't feel like going to go get it myself. I can request it. And the community can generously, look, Kate Elizabeth gave me a gold bar. Thanks, Kate Elizabeth. I love you. That's cool. So, like, so I'm in there saying we don't want an economy. We don't want bots. Right? As soon as people can make real life money by sending and trading gold and money in the video game, we're going to get bots. There's like 30 people on this server. Well, maybe not at the home plot server, but like say we go out to the city. There's like 20 people, 25 to 30 people out there. Those are all humans right now. Because there's no incentive for these gold farmers and capitalistic shark type people, black market kind of people, to invest in this game and start gold farming and creating all kinds of crazy bots, because they can't transfer the wealth to anyone. They can't send gold to anyone. They can't buy. So that's what I'm saying, right? So how do we get back to this cheating and disability stuff? Well, because then someone comes in and says, they should add a market because I'm disabled and I don't want to fish. There are quests that require fishing, and I don't want to fish because it hurts my hand, so I should just be able to buy the fish from the marketplace. Okay, so you want to skip the experience of fishing. You want to skip the experience of fishing, but you still want to get the fish. Like, okay, you know, I spent hours and hours and hours fishing. And oh my gosh, was I so sad when the first long-nosed unicorn fish popped up and I messed it up and it got away. Remember those achievements I talked about earlier about how I did get 10,000 multiplayer kills in Gears of War. I did get all of the achievements in Dead. I did catch this fish eventually. And you know that because you can see it in my house. Because I got it. Here's the proof. It's right here. I fished for it. I earned it. I went through the experience, even though it was painful. This hurts. And there it is. You're telling me you want to be able to display this in your house too? And all you did was buy it? You want to be able to say you completed the quest and you get the quest reward, but all you did was you bought it? You bought the... You know what? If there is a marketplace ever, I hope it's the same thing as the request menu. You won't be able to buy anything you haven't earned at least once on your own. And even then, we still don't want a stupid marketplace that's just going to have corruption and inflation and just all that jazz that I talked about earlier. This game is perfect. It's cozy. It does not have an economy. It doesn't have people in chat begging for money. Oh, what if we make it a trade only? Okay, fine. Then they're going to say, let me sell you a potato for 1,000 gold. You just can't have gold and item trading in this game without ruining that cozy. And to say that we should bring in all of those bots and gold farmers and black market and capitalism, shark shit, like we should bring all of that in just because you don't want to fish because your hand hurts. My hand hurts. I mean, are we going to get into a pissing contest of whose hand hurts more? I don't want to do that. I don't think that's fair. My hand might get worse by tomorrow. Who knows? I'm trying to take it easy. That's why I'm playing this chill-ass game. That's why I AFK in my plot so much. And that's why I feel like, all this star quality stuff that I earned through time, and I did the experience, right? I didn't have any scripts to catch these bugs. I didn't have any scripts to catch these fish. I put my hand on the controller in a weird way, and I played the fishing game, and I got the fish, Someone in that Discord called me ableist because I didn't want to agree that I'm authorized to cheat just because I'm in pain right now. Like, wait, I'm flabbergasted. I don't even. So, we don't want to market. We don't want to trade golden items because it defeats the essence of what it goes to right here. Number 2. That's why I had to breaking an unwritten rule. What's the unwritten rule of Palia? You earn your plot. For all of the patience you need in this game, you earn your plot. You earn the renown to make the plot bigger. You earn the money to buy the buildings. You earn the items that you display. You earn it all. That's the unwritten rule of Palia. That's built, the evidence of that is built into the request system. Ask yourself, why did the developers limit the request system to something going on with the controller and the mouse? Ow. What is happening? Okay, see, controller support is a little wonky. The developers put it into the request system that you can only request something that you've already earned. And that's the thing, you only have to earn it one time. Look, I can request the long Nor home. Where's... I can request it now. So it's the hardest fish I've caught, but I only had to do it one time. Once. Should I get a script and cheat at fishing because my hand hurts? Should I demand a marketplace so I can just buy my way out of completing things? Buy my way to having achievements and glory in my plot so that when you show up, you have no idea. Did I earn it myself by playing the video game, or did I just fucking buy it? I don't know. Anyway, that's my long-ass rant about should I cheat at Palia / why we don't want a marketplace. I don't think there's any good excuse for having a marketplace up to and including my hand hurts. Because my hand hurts. I got the fish. Anyway, I guess that's that. Well, let's take just a refresher of the notes. Did I miss anything? Hello? Paint? Ooh, what are you doing? Can you see that flashing? Oh no. Why did I bring it over there? Oh, that was weird. Stolen Valor by Nukes. Oh yeah, the one that was going through my head earlier was I have limitations in my life that have prevented me from being awarded an Emmy or an Oscar. The Academy hasn't personally awarded one to me. But I'm going to spend $1 million and buy one and display it on my mantle anyway. Does that make you a good artist? If I walk into your plot and I think that you caught all those fish, but you didn't, I don't want to be friends with you. Like, you're gonna. What other things? When are you gonna put on your military uniform with your fake medals and try and get me to thank you for your service? Like, you didn't do it. You didn't do it. You didn't do it. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, bye.